Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, and welcome to Nerd Problems Gaming, the channel where we go through the good and bad of everything nerdy to make sure you spend your time on the best of the best. In today's video, I'll be doing a review of World War Z. Is it worth it? Should you pick it up? So let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with World War Z, it kind of started as a book, and then they actually made it into a movie starring Brad Pitt, and then they made it into a game after that. So kind of a lot of backstory and lore prior to the video game, but not so much actually in the video game. I'll kind of get to the story in a bit, but this game itself just really reminds me of Left 4 Dead. And if you haven't played that game, it's pretty fun, it's pretty action-packed, fast-paced. And so basically, like that game, in this game you basically play kind of small, short rounds. There can be up to 4 players that you're playing as, and there's kind of various modes. So maybe it's kind of like a survival mode type thing. You're trying to reach a destination, various things like that. And so what's cool is that there's both offline modes, there's online modes that you can play as. They're really just short, quick scenarios though, so that's pretty nice. If you just want to pick up and play for a few minutes, you can, so that's really cool. And then, like I said, there's kind of different strategies that you need to do and kind of tactics you need to have as you play through these scenarios. So some of the options is kind of like a tower defense almost, in a sense, where you have to defend a specific area or kind of save civilians in a specific area, right? And so you'll get these different pickups that you get. So maybe it's kind of like an automated turret or like a stationary turret, or you set up electric fences or barbed wires, and kind of the zombies will run into that and slow them down. Or again, they're getting hit by those auto turrets. It kind of gives you a little time where you don't have to necessarily man a turret and be completely defenseless from zombies coming from all sides. So it's a pretty cool twist to it, but unlike the Left 4 Dead games, this game is a lot longer. There's a lot of different scenarios to the game. There's a lot more to the story, but again, it's not a super in-depth story as well, like the movie or maybe the book, for example. So basically, there's different locations around the world that are kind of experiencing, this zombie outbreak, and it's your job to stop them. And so each scenario basically has 4 characters that you can play as, and then what happens is you can switch between them as the main character, and then as you beat the different missions, you'll get a little bit of kind of more of their story unlocked that you can read about and learn about. But it doesn't really change the gameplay at all. It doesn't really change the story as you're playing the game, just kind of like being able to read their bios pretty much. So it's not like a super compelling story. It's really just the gameplay that holds this game together. So you're going to be going around the world from like Jerusalem throughout the US, Russia, and Tokyo out in Japan. So, it's kind of different environments that you're playing in, which is neat, and kind of to experience that and see that from a different perspective. You're going through like tunnels, you're going through sewers, you're deep in the city, you're more in a rural snowy area, right? So a little bit differences, which are pretty cool. But one thing where this game really shines that kind of made it pretty addicting for me to play this game was just kind of the experience and the level up mechanics of the game. So, one thing that I found, I really liked the Left 4 Dead games, but I felt like it was kind of lacking in a sense, where once I played it through a couple times, I didn't necessarily have that replay value. So what was different with, World War Z is the ability to level up your character. There's a bunch of different classes that you can play between. Each one has kind of their advantages and disadvantages. But on top of that, you're going to gain a bunch of experience as you play through the different missions as well. So you can spend that, on your character, leveling up their abilities, but you can also use that to their equipment and their guns, which is really neat. So as you pick up different guns throughout playing the game and use them, kill a bunch of zombies, you're going to get experience for each one of those. So they get more powerful, they get more abilities, more ammo, their reload time is faster, they do more damage, different things like that. And so that makes a pretty cool spin on it, where again, depending on the class that you might choose, you're going to start with different guns as kind of your base gun. And so you can level those up and get more experience. Now, when you do this, there's a bunch of different difficulty levels for each specific level that you play. And so that makes it pretty cool too, and enhances the replay value, because you might be able to beat it on easy or normal or maybe even hard to start, but then you get crushed at the higher levels, right? So as you play more, you gain more experience, you level up your character, you enhance your guns, you learn different abilities, you switch your class, right? It can give you the ability to play the harder missions, and then you just get more experience and unlock more stuff. So I really like that level up mechanic to the game, which I think that's something was missing in other zombie games like this. And again, too, which is neat, is the zombies are really fast in this game, which creates kind of a cool dynamic. They're constantly running at you, they're just piling over each other. You know, if you've seen the World War Z movie, they kind of climb on top of each other and make like pyramids, and then they can climb up, you know, these huge structures, and that makes it a pretty cool experience in the game too, where you think you might be safe, but then all of a sudden they pile up on top of each other, and now they're coming at you from all sides. So it creates an intense experience, cool visuals and graphics to the game as well. And then, like I said, the gameplay is really fun. You know, I played most of the game in the offline mode, which was a lot of fun, but again, you can play it online too, so you can connect with people around the world. I think that would probably enhance the experience a lot, to be honest, because, you know, there's some aspects of the game where you're going through and it's kind of like a mission. You need to get so many pieces of cargo and bring it back to the train, you know, in one mission. And so when you're playing offline, even though you've got like your computer buddies there playing with you, they don't do anything, right? So it's all on you to bring those items back. So I think on the higher levels of difficulty, it'd probably be a lot more fun playing with actual people in the online experience versus, you know, this different offline mode with the game. But again, since it has so many different scenarios, so many difficulty levels, and it really just changes each experience that you play, like the harder difficulty that you get, you know, a lot of the different items that you get every time is randomized. So I think there's a real high replay value with the game as well, especially with the level up mechanic that's in the game also. So, you know, I highly recommend picking this game up. It's a lot of fun if you like zombies, you like third-person shooter games. It's a lot of fun to play through for some mindless, you know, senseless zombie destruction. So again, let me know in the comments below, though, if you like this game, if you think this is better than the Left 4 Dead series, if you think this is a great zombie game or not one of your favorites, you know, let me know in the comments below. And then also, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel here and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos we put out on everything nerdy. And then if you'd like to help us support the channel, help us get out content faster and more, help us even pick videos and more, consider becoming a patron of ours over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. And then also, if you'd like to check out some of our live streams and Let's Plays that we do over here on the channel, you can head on over to nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch and follow us over there on Twitch. So again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.